Been listening to this tale about a dude named Ted, standing there just looking at the tools in his shed. And then he got to thinking, just looking ain't no fun. Let's pick one up and plug it in and see if it'll run. It did. Pretty good, too. Now old Ted's a happy guy 'cause he's got a pretty wife. Figures if he plays it right, he'll keep that gal for life. That gal, her name is Beverly, and he's her hillbilly. He's sweet on her, she's sweet on him, they're happy as could be. She's Beverly, he's Hillbilly, he's Beverly's Hillbilly.
Okay, so I was watching some YouTube last night and I saw a fellow who made a blade guide for his table saw using wood in order to get away from this kind of thing. This is the guide off my table, or my bandsaw. And you'll see that it's just got two little blocks that you adjust in or out to attempt to guide the blade. Problem is that by the time you get them adjusted in enough to really give you some control over what you're cutting, they're too tight. And well, you can see this has been, can you focus? Well, maybe you can see it. Come on. Focus. Well, I'm sure you can kind of almost see the line across the backside of that block where it's been turned around because of being worn by the blade going through. So I want to eliminate that and do kind of what he did, and that is use ball bearings. Now, this ball bearing is actually part of this original unit, and it went in that way, and the blade come up against the back of it to provide backing. But I want to turn it this way, can you see it? So that the blade comes against a roller surface instead of a flat surface. So what he did, he got all fancy and used a piece of, I think it was purple heart, because it's nice and hard. Well, I'm a poor guy. I can't afford to pay attention. But I do have a little piece left over of some ash from a couple of projects that I've been working on. And you can see that the grain is really nice and tight in that. And if you've ever worked with ash, it is very hardwood. So I started trying to draw up a bit of what I think it might have to look like. And it's going to require a bit of head scratching, and head scratching is my specialty. Can you tell? Anyhow, I'm going to see if I can come up with something that will work on mine. What he did wouldn't work on mine because, well, his is a lot more heavy-duty machine than mine, for one thing. And it's got a round stock that would come down and fit into this, whereas mine has a flat bar with a hole in the bottom of it so that there's a bolt, see here somewhere, just goes up through and holds it in place, and it could turn or whatever. So what I want to do when I make mine out of wood, I want to be able to keep it so that it will run true. And this is a little wider than this, obviously, and that's good, that's what I want. So that my bearings, which I've got over there, I can't show you unless I walk off, you know, but It's a matter of trying to figure out how to make some adjustment in things without, well, like I said, it's going to take some head scratching. So I've already started sketching out here. So the idea here is that this being the center line, this being the center line, this would go in, instead of this way, it would go in, you see it, that way, with a lock screw on either the back, probably on the back of some sort. And then the other bearings, which I have to come up with a center for, would come in here like that, with adjustment this way. Yeah, like that. So I'm going to try to come up with a way to draw things out in 3D on this piece so that I only have to cut it once. Well, no, I'll have to cut it twice because I've got the bottom one to do too. I suspect it's not the same though. Probably not. Anyhow, show you more. So I don't know if you can see what I'm working on here. This would be a side view. Not really, eh? Let's see if I can make some adjustment. Okay, so anyway, I don't know if you can see the lines on the front here. This is the top side, I'm guessing, which would put this bearing for the blade to ride between it and another one on the other side, about like so. And this one still has enough room for the shaft to be driven in above and cut back to match like so. Does that make any sense? Anyhow, I'm going to see what I can do with it. And this is me trying to figure out how to hold that without getting my fingers any closer to the blade than I absolutely have to. That might work. Might. Come on. The other bit of protection's in the way. Alright, let's do it this way. That's not going to work either, it's too long. I better figure one out. Okay, let's go bigger. That'll hold it, I think. to make sure it's right. Alright. Now I'm going to try to turn it and cut it that way. Try. Anyway, I need to adjust my depth again. That ought to do it. That's going to clear the saw blade. Right. And there's evidence of how hard that stuff is. And I got to make yet another cut. Which might be easier to do on the bandsaw without my guides in place. No, it's not a long cut. I'm hoping I can get enough meat in that to... That's not square. My piece of wood not square? Nope, it's not. Well, well, all of this may have been for naught because clearly this is narrower here than it is here, unless I can figure out a way. .28 on that end. Yeah. And 1.32 on that end. So, I don't know if I can straighten that out or not. I can try. Anyway, prototype. Let's call it a prototype. let's start by shutting this off so I can cipher some. Well, I'm making some progress, but I have to figure out over there how I can make this piece adjustable forward and aft, short of just moving this, because you have to be able to get these adjusted so that the teeth are not engaging with the bearings. But this one needs to be able to move in and out depending on the size of the blade you're using. So why are you not focused? There we go, thank you. Got some thinking to do. I may make a small little V-shaped piece to go on the bottom here, like a dovetail, to go into this so that this can slide back and forth. My only question is, how will I fasten it? Well, I suppose could always come up through here with a long screw to push against the bottom. That would strengthen this bottom bit here because of it being cross-grained. I'll give it some more thought, more head scratching, see what we can come up with. And then it's just rinse and repeat. The bottom guide is exactly the same as the top one. The only difference might be that I might have to make this bit here a little bit narrower to account for this piece here being not flat. But maybe by then I'll have a better idea what I'm doing. Never know. Naturally, I didn't take any video of the actual building of these things. I redid the other one that I showed you earlier. Made them out of plywood. That was probably a mistake. If I had them to do over again, and I might, probably try to find some maple or something. Good, hard, strong stuff that doesn't disintegrate. I had to, as you can see, fill spaces left and voids left because of splintering and so on. I used body filler. I'll put the table back on and see how it works, if it works.
So now I guess this episode is all done and said. I would like to thank you all for visiting with Ted. If you'd like to see what's next, why not subscribe and see? It's not that hard, just click on it, it's easy as could be. Comment too, I'd like that.